You suck, your business sucks, and you'll never be successful. How many people paid you $5,000? You ever lied to anybody? Okay, real quick. Anything you see in here? It's over, bro. What's your belief system? You're married, yes, to a woman, or you let your wife wear pants? When I ask you for something and you don't give it to me, are you knowing that you're lying to me?
Lying?
You cannot move being this comfortable. But you be in the crib and your drawers just like, hey, yo. My job is to make you fail. My job is to make you quit. My job is to make you cry. But if you survive it, success is on the other side. Podcast Summit is upon us. PodcastSummit.com for those that want to start, scale, or grow or monetize a podcast. I've done it all. I've taught thousands of people how to start their podcast. Podcast Summit August 7th and 8th is coming up in Atlanta. But forget that. You guys are going to fight me on this one because Ms. Voss, who is our guest today, she is a very, very sweet woman, very passionate. She's just lazy. And we found out that yoga is not the devil's work. However, she is the classic story of you. Most people that's watching this that haven't grown a business, I think you guys are really gonna attack me and cook me in the comments because I was extra aggressive. For no reason, but I had to get my point across. I really, really want to hear your thoughts in real time as you're feeling the emotion. If somebody says something that you agree with in the chat, I want you to be their friend. Like, yo, I agree, this is my perspective. If you see somebody that says something that you don't agree with, I want you to fight them in the chat, okay? On them keys, hey, this is why you wrong because of it. I wanna build a community in the chat. I love the engagement. I read the comments. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me know what your thoughts are. I love y'all, man. Let's get to it. All right, welcome to the hot seat. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here.
Oh, man, you and I both. Man, there's a lot of people that didn't wake up this morning.
Right.
But we woke up. We're here. We're entrepreneurs. We have a dream. We have an idea, vision, business. Yes. Isn't that cool?
It's very cool.
Cool. So introduce yourself and tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Rachel Voss, and I am the founder and owner of Rachel Voss Yoga and Wellness. My mission of my work is to facilitate healing, empowerment, spiritual development for women through yoga, meditation, and other wellness practices like mentorship. I host a monthly book club. So I'm here just to teach, to serve, to share. Originally from New Jersey, lived in Maryland for about 20 years, and then moved to Atlanta 2021, about 4 years ago.
You know what? This is so on time. So Donnie made a post earlier this week, and she's like, oh my gosh, I can't do yoga because it's devil worship. Well, she didn't say that. She said something about like the positions were like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You heard that?
Yes.
Okay.
I hear it a lot, especially being a Black yoga teacher.
So give me your rebuttal to that.
Well,
because you're not practicing devil worship.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I practice what I call God's work, spiritual work. The deal is that yoga does have roots. Well, this could get convoluted. Yoga does have roots in Indian Hindu lineage, Hindu religion, but there's also Kemetic yoga, but that's a different conversation.
What's Kemetic yoga?
From like Egypt, from like Kemet, so like ancient African tradition yoga. So there's a whole line of Kemetic yoga, but when we talk about like appropriation and devil's work, it's usually Hindu-based yoga with the gods and the goddesses and things like that. So you will have yoga studios that will have shrines or statues of gods and goddesses that are like, you need to pray to this, you need to make an offering to this, all this type.
They tell you got to pray to it and make offerings?
Some studios will do that. Some studios will because they're so wedded to the tradition. But I came up under...
Hold on, even in the States?
Even in the States. But that's not every yoga studio.
Well, I guess people into whatever they into.
Yeah. It's like people who really... And I'm kind of like a free spirit, so I don't let myself get, you know what I mean? If it speaks to me, it speaks to me. Yeah. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So some things I will, take part in, and then some things I'm like, that's not my ministry. Give me the ones you take part in. So, I mean, there's like everybody believes their own thing, right? So I will chant. So there's like a Hindu goddess named Lakshmi who is like the goddess of abundance, right? And there's a chant that you can say. So when I feel like I need to get my abundance going, I need to remove some financial blocks, I will chant to her, but I also will pray, to God and you know what I mean? So
you do chant to her?
I do chant to her, yeah.
And she blesses you.
I have been blessed. I have seen a return on my chant investment.
A return on the chant? You chant too? Y'all be chanting together? You don't be on the chants? Okay.
But he's cool with it. He's cool with it, yeah. He's
Gotcha.
cool with
Okay.
it.
All right. Cool. Okay. So so keep going.
So I grew up in the church. I grew up in Baptist church. And I came up under a Black yoga teacher. The teacher I came up with is Dana Smith. I have to give her a shout out. She owns Spiritual Essence Yoga in Prince George's County, Maryland, which was the first Black owned yoga studio out there. And she really taught us like how to teach the practice, but to separate it from sort of the Hindu religion traditions, because the goal of her training Black yoga teachers is to get us in our communities and to help kind of break down that idea that, yes, this is devil's work. And so if you separate the movement from the Hindu religion, you can incorporate it with your Bible scripture, with your gospel music. So now there is gospel yoga. There are a whole entire Black owned yoga studios that focus strictly on like gospel yoga. So there's a way to make it work for you.
Got it.
But there are folks that feel like, oh, I'm taking in some other God or another deity, or something like that. And so if I incorporate this, then like I'm doing the devil's work. And it's like, you don't have to. You can just do just the movements. You don't have to chant. You don't have to say the words. You don't have to do any of that. Just do the movement because it's good for your mind, your body, and your spirit.
Got it.
Yeah.
And Donnie, I think she was just asking more out of curiosity, and she was asking people on her stories like, yo, is this cool? Like, I'll just make sure I want to make sure I'm straight.
Yeah,
right?
it's cool. You got to have the conversations though, because if you sit on YouTube enough or Instagram enough, there are folks out there that, particularly I would say, non-people of color, right, that have had this whole yoga experience, and then for whatever reason it didn't work out, and then they get back into church and now they're like, oh, this is the devil's work. Like I've literally had people send that to me, like, look at this YouTube, they telling you it's the devil's work, and I'm just like, okay, I don't receive that though. Because my life has been blessed abundantly since I became a yoga practitioner, and especially since I became a yoga teacher. So I don't know how this could be bad, Okay. Yeah.
All right. Cool. And again, everybody has their own.
And to each their own. I don't force 100%. It. I'm like, if it's for you, great. If not, then you know what I mean. Do what works for you.
Gotcha. All right. So give me the benefits of yoga.
It's many. So mentally, it helps to reduce anxiety. It helps to.
What about the yoga reduces anxiety?
When you breathe, like, so when we get anxious, right, we tend not to breathe. Our body tends to get tight. Our central nervous system is in overdrive, right? And so when we come to a place, I don't know if you saw me right beforehand, I was sitting here taking a couple of breaths before we got started.
Yeah, I thought you was praying.
Breathe. What did Jesus do when he went, for 40 days? He meditated, he said he breathed, he got to know himself, right? And so
meditate, pray, breathe, all that, you kind of just is one practice, or do you separate it?
For me, it's all one.
Okay.
Like I'll get on the yoga mat, I'll breathe, I'll move, and then I'll meditate and pray and set my intentions or, my affirmations or whatever for the day. But coming back to your question, when the central nervous system gets into overdrive, that's what causes like anxiety, tightness in the body. And you can feel it. You could physically feel it. And so when you stop and center yourself and breathe, that helps to calm the mind. And that tells the central nervous system like, okay, we can just relax here for a minute. And then literally there are studies that show how meditation, breathing, yoga practices literally can help the synapses in the brain. I couldn't tell you studies off the break, but there are studies out there if you want to do your Googles and your research.
Okay.
And then physically it helps with flexibility with your joints. It's a great practice for senior citizens. My mom, bless her soul, she is 88. And she's going to be really mad when she watches this back, like you told my age, but I have to, Ma, but I started teaching her yoga when I started teaching, which was in 2013. And now she has a regular practice. It helps with your balance, which is really good for seniors, you know what I mean? And again, your joints, if you have arthritis. So it's a really great way to maintain your body, again, from a mind, body, and spirit perspective.
Got it. Okay. So tell me about your business.
So, Rachel Voss Yoga was officially founded in May of 2015. So this year's my 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And so my background, I was basically like a lobbyist for like the mortgage finance industry in DC. And I did that for 10 to 15 years. And it's a job I kind of fell into out of grad school. Made good money, great experience, met a lot of cool people. But on the inside, I was just something wasn't connecting. And I'm a very service-based person. Like I've been like that since I'm a kid. Like I just wish I could help people. My mom was a social worker in the city of New York. My dad, rest his soul, he was a public defender. So service is like in my blood. And I've always wanted to help people. And I just felt like I wasn't getting that through my career in the mortgage finance industry.
Okay.
And so yoga had come into my life by way of my stepmother. It's a whole thing, but it's going to come together. But yoga had come into my life by way of my stepmother when I was younger. So it had always had a presence in my life. And when I was just kind of like at the height of misery with my job, I actually was in a car accident that took me out of work for like 2 months. And during that time, to kind of help just my physical healing, I just took some yoga classes. And I had practiced it like here and there, but it wasn't like a way of life, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even though I had these different influences. And when I took this one yoga class, the yoga teacher, I will never forget, she just like fell into a split. And it was so peaceful and so easeful. And I was like, I need that in my life. Yeah. And I just decided to like do a yoga teacher training just to find whatever that yoga teacher had and to find some peace. It wasn't to teach. It wasn't to start a business. And a lot of yoga teachers will tell you that. I just went to learn more, to go deeper. And that's why I have to shout out my teacher. By the time I was done with my training, she was like, I got a class for you. You need to teach. And I was like, I don't want to teach. She was like, you're going to teach. Wow. And you're going to do this. And she could see in me what I wasn't able or willing to see in myself.
And you started this process in 2015, or you started
no, before 2013. Yeah, 2013.
Got
so I'm now a yoga teacher. I'm teaching like 1 or 2 classes a week, and I still have my corporate job, single mom, at the same time. And then just, it's a whole long story. I don't want to take up all the time, but just got to the height of misery with my job one day, and literally was at a work conference in San Diego and had a book that my teacher gave me called The War of Art. And I read that book on the plane, and by the time that plane landed from San Diego back to Baltimore, I was like, I'm leaving this job. And I had no plan. I had no savings. Full-time single mom.
And you left the job?
6 figures.
But then you went back to work.
No. I left that job in 2015. Yeah. And then I gave them my 30-day notice. And then they said, oh, they weren't prepared for that. Yeah. So they actually, and this was the first step for me, when they say if you leap or if you jump, the net will appear. Because I didn't know what I was just like, I got to quit and I'm going to do something with this yoga. But I only had the one class. Yeah. And then, but I was like, I'm going to do something with it. And when I gave them my notice, they were like, well, can you stay on part-time for 3 months just so we can get your position filled? So that was the first step of like, I'm going to give you some income while you do this.
Right. What in that book made you want to quit your job?
That book is maybe like 100 pages. And I think it was like page 15 where it was like, something along the lines of like, what you need to do. You're just holding yourself back. Something that just punched me literally in my gut. And I called, well, you can't see him, but I called him as soon as I got off the plane, like, I'm doing this, I'm just gonna, it just felt it felt like my moment.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. I was 37 at the time. And it just felt like, if you don't do this, you're never gonna do something as powerful, as this. And so I walked in, gave my notice in February 2015. And then wrapped up with them April 30th, 2015. And on May 1st, 2015, Rachel Voss Yoga, I say, was born. Because that's when I stepped out on my own.
Okay. So what do you offer people right now?
Right now, I offer, so primarily I'm virtual, especially since moving to Atlanta or to the Georgia area. Yeah. And I went virtual in 2020 with the pandemic, and then found like, oh, this is a really cool model where I can reach more people, but have less hustle. Because again, any yoga teacher will tell you, especially if you're out on your own, you're constantly in the car, you're dragging yoga mats around, you're going from here. It's physically exhausting. It's beautiful, but it's physically exhausting. So it's like, how can I maximize this, but like minimize the wear and tear on me physically? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so how many clients do you have now?
So right now, I only teach like a couple of classes, like a month, which is why I'm here. But I do offer private sessions if people want to book with me privately.
When you do the couple classes a month, how many people are typically there?
Like 10. And it's the same 10 that's been with me for like 10 years, which is beautiful.
How much do they pay?
Like 20 a class. Virtually, like 20 a class.
So your business makes about how much a month?
Negative. No, my business makes no. A month, yeah, probably like 100 to 200, just depending on what classes I hold. Because I was doing well, and then I hit kind of like a downturn.
So why were you doing well?
Well, again, in 2020, when the world shut down, people were looking for something. And, I always shout out the first responders, the hospitals, but I always say the spiritual teachers, like we were like the second responders, because people were looking. And that's when like yoga, breathing, meditation
spiritual
comes into
teacher,
play.
What do you mean?
Like a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher, because people were looking for something in 2020. They were scared.
So it is a spiritual practice. Like
absolutely.
You're teaching spirituality.
Yeah, absolutely. I call it spiritual development.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, okay. But what spirit looks like is between you and you.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. My goal is just to help you get in touch with yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where your spirit resides. And then from there, it just goes. You know
okay.
what I mean? So it will deepen whatever your relationship is, or maybe isn't with God, but you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Have you prayed to old girl to bless this business at all? Or?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
She said, you got an interview with David Shands. Go get yours. Go ask some questions.
What is the most you made in a month in your business?
A month. That's a good. I know the most I made in a year was 20,000 because that was 2020.
20,000 in a year.
20,000 in a year. That was my biggest year.
And this was all virtual.
This was all virtual, and this was because I was teaching like 5 classes a week, you know, and people were coming. You know what I mean? Because people were either home alone and they needed community.
Yeah, had nothing to do.
You know what I mean? And so my class gave them a community. There were people that were at home in not healthy situations and they needed a place to go. And the one that sticks with me.
But a place to go, it's virtual, so it's not.
But to turn to, because when you go on your yoga mat, it's like.
You're in a whole nother
world. And that's what I always say. Yoga mat is 72 inches. And I'm like, this is 72 inches of choice. What do you can either do these movements or not do movements. Yeah, you can, it's all in what you want to do, what feels good for you. You know, so that space, you can be in the tiniest of rooms and be on your yoga mat, be in a whole different world.
Okay. What is the offerings that you have?
So outside of, I call that public classes. So that's when I'm just like, hey, I'm teaching a class on Saturday. Anybody can join. But I have private offerings. So if people want to work with me one-on-one for private yoga, for meditation.
How much is that? That
I charge $111 an hour.
$111 an hour?
Yeah, because it's all about like the synchronicity of the numbers and all of that stuff. That's the spirit.
She like this all the time?
Yeah. Okay. I got salt lamps all over the house and, you know, I'm that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when y'all in arguments, like, is it all about your energy? Like, bro, you need to fix your energy. And then like.
A little bit, because I'm a Scorpio from New Jersey too. So that sauce gets in there too. But I can get myself back to center. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, I can get myself back to center.
All right. So how many people do this $111?
How many people have? None.
No one's ever taken that up?
Well, let me take that back. The struggle I'm having now is when I was in Maryland before 2020, I had private clients. I had corporate clients.
Virtual though?
No, all in person.
Yeah.
And then when the world shut down, all of that just stopped. And then when the world opened back up, things were just different. Like people were, you know, it wasn't just, oh, we can have anybody in, because everything was just different with the pandemic. And then shortly after the world opened up, we moved from Maryland to here, and I kind of just lost my momentum.
So the only path that you have to make money is a $20 class and a $111 one-on-one session that nobody takes.
Well, I have those offerings. Yes, I have like private offerings. I have done retreats in the past. I mean, there are bigger ticket items.
But right now,
yeah, my offerings, like
just those two.
Yeah, because I'm not, which is why I'm here too. I'm not really branding myself enough, I think, and put myself out there enough for people to know what's out there. And the students who are actively involved with me, they just take the public classes. You know what I'm saying? Or like my free offerings or whatever.
So what are you doing to build the business?
I'm here.
No.
That's too easy of an answer.
I'm here to assist, but like I can't build a business. No.
So I do have my newsletter. I have a newsletter that has about 325 subscribers. I checked all my numbers before I came here. So I try to be active with my newsletter.
What's the open rate?
Mm-hmm.
What's the open rate?
I just checked that. I can't give you the percentage off the top of my head, but if I have 325 subscribers, usually 125 open.
How do you know that?
Because I look at my stats. It's not the full 320.
How often do you send a newsletter?
If not every week, every other week. On Tuesdays. I try to be consistent with Tuesdays. Okay. Sorry.
So a part of your business is releasing on Tuesdays, but we don't release every Tuesday.
No.
Why?
Because I'm lacking consistency. I know that about myself.
But why though? Why don't you? You know Tuesday's coming.
Yes. And I need to have, my struggle has always been, I need systems and processes in place. And so I need to be better about.
You don't need a system or a process to send them a newsletter. Okay. What all does it take to send a newsletter? Not
much. I mean, it's just really my words. You know what I mean?
So and why do you think you need a system or a process?
When I say a system, I mean like every, yes. And then have, send. Yes. Well, I mean, if I can't do it on Tuesday morning for whatever reason, I'm taking my kid to school, whatever I'm doing. When I say a system, I guess I mean in my head, it's like sitting down on Sunday when I do have time, setting it up to go out on Tuesday. And that I don't see myself doing enough. That's what I mean when I say a system.
What do you be doing instead of that?
Dinner and taking care of my son and my man and my house and all the other things.
So nothing?
No, it's not nothing.
It is nothing.
It's not nothing.
The things that you're doing is not nothing.
Right.
But you're not doing anything other than living your life with.
Well, yeah, and I have to do better with time management. Yes. I know that about myself.
Where do you waste your time?
I can be very honest. I am more of a scroller than I am a content creator.
So when I ask the question, what are you doing on Sundays?
Yes.
The answer is, I'm just scrolling on Instagram.
But not all day. I don't want to give a false impression about myself.
It doesn't take all day to write the newsletter.
It doesn't.
But in the time
it takes
that
just
you're
as long as
supposed
I'm
to be writing a
scrolling.
newsletter.
Yes. I can admit that about myself.
So what are you doing instead of writing these newsletters?
If I'm not taking care of my home, if
no,
I'm not working my job.
The answer is I want you to be real with you.
Okay, I'm on Instagram. Yes, I'll be on Instagram.
So instead of writing a newsletter, you prefer
I'm
to
just
scroll
doing
Instagram.
I'm chilling.
There we go.
Yes.
A little bit of honesty.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think this opens up the conversation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There's certain things that I don't even think I can help you with.
Okay.
I can see if you're saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm out here getting to it, and I'm asking people to sign up, and I'm promoting and I'm pushing."
I am, but not consistently. Not consistently.
You're not even writing the newsletter every Tuesday,
right,
so I can I already know what the rest of the activity looks like.
Yes.
When's the last time you had a new client?
That is a good question. A new client. I would say in January I had a new student sign up for my yoga class.
How'd they sign up?
Through my promotion on Instagram.
So you made a post on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see your page real quick. What is your Instagram page?
Rachel Voss Yoga.
I see it. Okay. As of today, today is...
Oh, you're going to look at my last post.
February.
The last post was
What's today at? February what?
18th.
Today's February 18th at the time of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
Your last post was January 18th. Wow, how convenient.
But that's not accurate because I post things and then I take them down. Because once I promote a class, I sometimes take it down once the class is done. And then I do a lot in my stories too. I find I have more traction in my stories than I do. You're not going to see anything in my story now because I don't have anything to share right now. But I'm going to share this, but after this is done. So my story right now is probably something political that I'm upset about.
There's absolutely nothing about your business.
But if I should have put something in my stories.
The last thing that you posted
is a mad political post.
Well, it says, this is why as entrepreneurs and creators, newsletter lists are critical for your business.
Yes. That was when they were shutting down TikTok and people were like, what am I going to do? A mentor told me a long time ago, like have ways for people to reach you outside of social media. So I do know that about having a newsletter list.
Let me just tell you a little bit about this post for the audience.
Yeah.
It says, this is why, as entrepreneurs and creators, newsletter lists are critical for your business. Mm-hmm. I've been building my newsletter contact list for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And you failed to put on this post that you only have 300 people in 10 years. Mm-hmm. Which...
I know.
Like you're kind of teaching and coaching, but...
I know. Which is a little bit why I hold myself back because I don't want to be that. I want to move in integrity.
Because you're saying that a newsletter is important, and you think because you have a newsletter that you're actually valuing the importance of it, and you're not.
Right.
The importance is building it, not having it.
Received.
But even as you start talking about this newsletter, mm-hmm. if you don't have a newsletter, start building one ASAP. Mm-hmm. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. But in these 4 paragraphs of your writing, mm-hmm. you're not even telling people to join your newsletter.
I didn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
To my fellow entrepreneurs, creators, if you haven't started one, start one now. Looming bands of giant platforms. Do you still have a way to reach your audience? Likewise, views are great, but contact lists are more reflective of true clients. Create your newsletter or email distribution. I've been growing my list for 10 years and counting. I'm not on TikTok, I guess, mm-hmm. so I won't be affected by the ban. But should it actually, of course you're not going to be affected by the ban because you're not even using it.
Right.
And out of this whole post, not the post and the words, you don't even ask people to buy.
Yeah.
Or join the newsletter.
I honestly didn't even realize that, yeah.
The post before that was 2 days ago, you and your boo.
It's his birthday.
The next post which was 2 days before that.
That's
it's
a
you.
forensic analysis on my Instagram page.
It's you.
Mm-hmm. But there's
And,
usually a story,
you have some sort of offering right here.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I love to write. And so
Good.
That's where I try to get some of that off.
Next one is about your snow day.
I'm trying to create. That was me trying to just create content because I feel like I don't create enough content.
Do you know why you should create content?
Because I need to make myself visible and to promote my work more.
No, yeah, it's not to make yourself visible.
Yeah.
The whole reason you should create content is to sell some yoga sessions.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about your pricing because I don't see how you're going to make any money doing that.
I know.
But the whole purpose of creating content is to drive people to your business, period.
Yeah.
I teach people to start their podcast and get their podcast. But I don't teach to start a podcast because you need a podcast.
Right.
I'm saying the podcast should be a path to something else.
Right.
And I don't even recommend starting a podcast unless you know it's going to be a path to something else.
Right.
Don't create content just to create it.
Right.
There needs to be a purpose for it.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason we're creating content, I want you to ask yourself every time you post something, will this particular post get me a client?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the struggle for, yes, received. I don't want to say yes, but sorry, received. The struggle for me is that when I started on Instagram, whatever, 2014, I was already teaching yoga, and I'm not trying to make an excuse. I just threw myself into entrepreneurship. I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have any. So it probably took me a good 3 or 4 years before it clicked like, oh, Instagram is a marketing tool. Because I would just go in there and share. Like, that's just something that's just natural to me. And without having anybody say, when you work corporate, you have a marketing department, you have an IT. So it took me time to really realize, like, I am all of these things. So getting comfortable with Instagram as a marketing tool is something I'm still getting comfortable with. So I can see where it's still easier for me to post me and my boo than it is for me to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But I also know I need to make some type of money. So I will share like my classes and stuff. But you're absolutely right to say, like, I need to be more intentional of my usage.
It's not even the what.
And not consume.
It's not even the what that I'm really wanting to fix with you.
Yeah.
It's more of the internal desire to help people.
Yeah.
So as we start a business, the objective of starting a business is not to sell a cool product, but to solve a problem. If we solve a problem, people will pay money for it.
Yes.
So I have problems. I have a lot of problems. I am stressed. You understand? Like, really. So not only am I doing too much, I'm doing way too much. Just too many activities. So I'm about to do this big event called Podcast Summit, which should be a 3rd year in a row. And I have to do it because I've already done it 2 years. And I told people I was doing it again. And every single year that I do an event, I ask myself, why am I doing this? And then I tell myself, I'm not doing this next year. And then the event is amazing. I get on stage, I'm like, oh, let's do it again. Next year it's going down, okay? By next year, I want to see your podcast. And so many people start launching throughout the year, and I feel the obligation to do it. That is a major behemoth, if that's the word I'm looking for, of a task. On top of that, I'm still doing this show and my social proof show and my morning meetup community, and I have a podcasting community. And I have some kids at home that don't listen to me.
How old are your kids?
3, 2, and 14.
Ooh. Yeah.
14-year-old, she's good.
Yeah.
2 and 3, no home training. I don't even want to take them over to people's houses because they jump on the couches, jump on the tables, they hit the other kids. It's like, it's tough.
Yeah, they got a lot of energy.
And then I love my wife and I want to spend more time with her, but I can't because I'm either working this business or like trying to train my kids to be good human beings. And then every now and again, like I said, I am stressed.
So what do you do for you?
Nothing at all.
So I would recommend making some time for meditation, making some time for yourself, maybe taking a yoga class.
I'm not praying to that lady though.
No, you don't have to pray to that lady. I don't even do that. That's for me. I never do that in my, I don't even have people chant in my class. I don't, everything I do is for me. I just teach physical postures and, spiritual messaging, but not tied to anything.
Yeah,
It's more
I'll
like
stretch.
It's like books that just talk about how to have, I'll read passages from books about how to have the best version of your life.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to put that on the table.
Yeah, no, all good. I don't, I don't do that for people.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You have a solution to my problem, but you really don't care about my problem. You care about your own journey of wellness, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the case, yoga should really be a hobby and not a business.
Oh, didn't I tell you he was going to say that? I said he's going to come on here and say your business is not a business, it's a hobby.
No, I'm giving you a suggestion.
Okay.
You should just make it a hobby.
No.
Why not?
Because I want it to be a business.
No, you don't.
I do. I do.
You don't even tell anybody about it.
But I do.
No.
You're right. No, you're right. But I'm glad you said that, because I had a mentor recently say that to me. You have to create the problem so that you can be the solution. Like, you know what I mean?
But here's the thing. You don't even have to create the problem. The problem exists.
Yeah.
The big problem is you don't care about helping people with their problem.
Right. I received that.
If you really cared about me, you would say, hey, you should do you do yoga? A lot? Not really?
I do as much as I can. He's in a couple of my videos, though.
You do a little something.
Yeah.
Would his life be better if you did more yoga?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
How often do you tell him?
Probably like once a week, maybe. Yeah.
Do you know any of your family members that could really use, like, they're sick or they're like immobile or they're stressed out? You have any family members?
Sure.
Like that?
Yeah, I could say yeah.
Do you ever suggest that they should do yoga?
My mama.
Oh, your mom does it, of course. I'm talking about the rest.
But my
of the
mama
family.
was resistant to it first, so it's a big deal that she does it. It's a big deal that she does it, because she's one of those church ladies. That's what is this?
Which means you care about your mom.
Yeah.
You just don't care about the rest of your family. So.
I do. I have a niece that comes that she's very supportive of my class.
No.
And she says,
I'm not talking about support.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's people with a problem.
Yes.
And your objective should be to solve their problem. Right. I push this morning meetup community because I know entrepreneurs need a home.
Yes.
You're at home right now, and there's no one telling you that you should be inspired and motivated. There's nobody telling you every single morning what to do, how to prioritize your task, like how to sell yourself, you don't have anybody.
Right.
So I want to save you. You should join the morning meetup.
You know what? I have to be very honest. I really kind of just learned about you because my partner submitted my information. So I did my research last night. I looked at a couple of episodes last night because I was going to be prepared. And I saw that. I was like, you know what? That sounds like a community I need to be a part of. And I do have a brother that he's in his 60s and he got knee stuff. So I do tell him to do stuff for his knees and everything. He's physically stressed.
Oh, really? How long ago did you tell him?
I mean, I text him,
hey,
at least once a month and tell him.
You know, I'll check your text.
You want to check my text?
Let's go to this text.
My brother's text? I don't have my phone.
Let's get it.
Come
it's
on,
not far.
Okay,
before he gets the phone, how often do you tell him that he needs to do yoga?
I mean, I could say not all the time.
Casually.
Casually.
You don't care.
Okay.
I'm telling people, telling entrepreneurs every single day that they need to join this amazing community because you can't do entrepreneurship alone or you'll end up respectfully like you.
Yeah.
I have no accountability. I don't even know what to do. I don't have nobody I could talk to. I don't have anybody telling me how to build my business.
Yeah.
So we're going to end up just with the same 10 clients for the rest of our lives?
No.
Not making any money?
I don't want that. I feel like I do have accountability.
But it's very possible.
But I
from
definitely.
Who?
Well, I feel like I'm aware of my shortcomings. I'm not aware. I'm not delusional, but I could do better. I can absolutely do better, but I at least feel like I'm aware. Where's your accountability? I feel like, again, being here,
No.
Okay.
We just learned about me a couple of days ago. You've been doing this thing for 10 years, not making any money. Where's your accountability?
I mean, I still work. I still try to invest in mentorship.
Where's your accountability? Who's holding you accountable?
Me. My kid.
No one.
My kid holds me accountable. I will say he does hold me accountable. He does. He's 17. He wants his mother to have a successful business. He told me that. He said, when I go off to college.
How often does he tell you that you need to have a successful business?
He may not tell me that all the time because he's 17 and could care less sometimes.
100%.
But he recently told me when I go to college, I need you to have a successful business because he's been my whole entire focus.
This child said something to you once and you're counting that as accountability?
No, I'm just saying. I have people I have to be accountable to.
The answer is I don't have any accountability.
I don't have any accountability.
You don't.
Period.
If you don't offer this service to somebody, he's not on your head about it.
He almost had me running late to get here today.
I'm saying over the last 10 years, either he's not holding you accountable, right, or he's a horrible accountability partner. No. Which one is it?
He's the reason I'm here. He's holding me accountable.
The question is, I'm talking about the last 10 years. This is the last 2 days.
Yeah.
My question for you is he just a terrible accountability partner, or is he not holding you accountable? It's only one of the two.
I would say not holding me accountable.
He's not holding you accountable.
Because he's not a terrible partner.
So the answer is you don't have any accountability.
I don't have any accountability.
I'm so passionate about this because I know I can change your life by joining the community. Not just my coaching, but I know what the problem is.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
You're hurting.
Yeah, I am. And I need help.
And I am so passionate about this that I will not only start a community called the Morning Meetup, I'll start the Hot Seat, I'll start the Social Proof Podcast, I'm going on live, and I just pick random people and I coach them because I care about people.
Got it.
You have to develop a care, and you won't need motivation or inspiration. You'll see somebody walking through the store that you can see they're in pain, and you'll walk them to them, oh my gosh, I know you're dealing with something, and I just want to give you my card because I can help with that. I have this client that I'm a yoga instructor. I know you might not want to go to LA.
Do that, but not okay, I'm not supposed to respond.
You don't. You're not doing
that.
But
not to the degree that has brought me success. No, you're right.
Which means you don't do it.
Because I will talk about yoga to anybody, especially if I see people in pain or somebody says, I do say that, but you're right, not to a degree where I have demonstrated success.
Which means we don't do it.
Which means, okay.
Okay. I have taken my wife on a date.
Yes.
But do I take my wife on dates often? No.
Right.
If somebody asks me, hey, Dave, do you take your wife on dates? The answer is no.
Okay.
I have.
Right.
I have.
Right.
Have I had some very deep, intimate conversations with my wife? Of course. But if someone asks me, hey, man, do you have deep, intimate conversations with your wife? I'd be like, man, I really need to get better at that because I don't.
Okay.
But have I? Yes.
Right.
So have you done something to build your business? Yes.
Right.
Are you doing stuff to build your business? No matter how, the answer is no, even if every now and again you're saying something.
Right. I hear that.
6 months ago, you saw somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to help you.
Yeah. Yes, I'm just going to say yes.
Nah, say what you like.
Well, it's hard because I do care, and I care about the people who do come to mind. I really do care about them. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten to know people personally. You know what I mean? I've become a very important person. No, I don't say that. I've become an instrumental person in a lot of people's lives. You know, I've had a yoga student tell me they were contemplating suicide, and they took my class, and it changed their life. You know what I mean? Mm. So it's hard to hear you don't care when I care, but I also understand what you're saying. Yeah. So if I'm coming off defensive a little bit, it's because of that. Yeah, no, but I also understand what you're saying. Because I need to care more, to want more from my students too.
Well, you need to care.
Yeah.
I think you care about the people in your community.
I do. I do. I care about people.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that you don't care, period.
Yeah.
I think you care about the people in your community.
Yeah.
But caring about the people in your community will not translate to getting more people in your community.
Yes.
It's like you turn your back on the world and you hug all your community. Yeah. But your back is still turned to the world.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about them. I care about this group of people.
And then I get frustrated with this group of people if they don't do the bigger things that I offer, but I care about them. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So my objective is to develop something inside of you that says, I'm going to save the world with my practices.
Which was the goal when I first started. Yeah.
But our actions have to follow.
Yeah.
So the excitement that you had when you first started is not the excitement that you have right now. Because when you first started, that might have been what you did to get the first 10 clients. But now that fire has burned out.
Yeah. Well, life, I mean, it's true. And that's the thing. When I first started, it was that initial fire, and it felt like everything was operating on all cylinders. And then even when, I had the NFL's Players Association was a client. I had corporate clients in my local area. I was moving. And then when the world stopped, I lost that clientele. Although the NFL players, I still had them virtually. But then when I shifted into a virtual model, I was like, oh, this is dope. This is working. And like I said, that was my biggest year revenue-wise, right? And then when we moved here to give my kid an opportunity to go to high school here. And then that broke up the momentum. And then my dad like died right after we moved here. And that just took a lot of it out of me. So things have happened that have quieted the fire, but there is a burn still in my belly to be the best version of myself. And I do know I'm not being the best version of myself and what I can do in this world. I know that I stepped out of this corporate world to do something big, and I haven't hit that stratosphere yet.
Yeah. What does your husband do for a living?
Not
your husband, but
no, he's my husband.
He's gonna be for sure.
He's my husband. It's just, we own a house together. We just not on the other paper
together.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your husband do for a living?
On paper, he is a communications project manager for like a global benefits company. Okay. Behind the scene, he's a activist, an artist.
Oh.
He didn't have time to put on his own brand of a shirt today, but I was like, you should have wore your own thing today.
Yeah, we gotta do something because I know them activists and artists don't make no money. Yeah, them activists, them activists and artists
Shout
don't
out
make
to the
no
people
bread.
versus the anti-people.
I mean, they definitely make a difference, but don't make no bread.
Yeah. But it's funny because when we first met, the shoe was on the other foot. I was the corporate girly and he was the artist. Mm-hmm. And then he went corporate and I became the creative. Yeah. But although he's still the creative, but yeah.
All right, so let's move forward. One biggest issue, we don't have the desire, and it's not showing up in the world. We might think about it and want to do it, but we really want to scroll on Instagram more than we want to build our business at the time. Right now. Cool.
Yeah. It's easier, right?
The next thing is there's no target. I would imagine that we don't have like a target of how many people we want to bring into the program every month. There's no target.
No, you're right.
If there's a target, for some reason, magically, we start getting closer to the target.
Right.
So I didn't have any target for, I had a big target for the amount of people in my community. But this year I said, I am locked in. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just locked into my morning meetup community. And we said we are going to set a target of enrollment. So the target last month was 150. And simply because we had a target, we wound up with like 108, I want to say.
Oh, that's my favorite number.
So we,
it is.
and I'm gonna get into the pricing, like why your pricing isn't 108 instead of 111, and then no, I don't really care about that. Don't worry about that.
That's just a number.
Anyway,
yeah, that's just
So we had 108.
Yeah.
And we were looking like, we missed the goal. But it's a big number.
Yeah.
Compared to not having a monthly number.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this month we are on track to hitting the 150 and beyond, actually. But it was only because we set a target and we're going after the target. And every day I wake up, I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get to this target?
Right.
You can double your current results this month simply by having a target.
Okay.
So how many people so we got about 12 days in February. How many people we bring into and it's only $20.
Yeah. I mean, I always try to have, my goal, I always say is I want to have like at least 25 people in the class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's only $20.
Yeah. For a public offering. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm saying like $20.
Right.
It's not even a hard sell.
No.
That's how I know like you're just not even asking people, because like to take a yoga class, there's already people that are interested.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, just.
Well, the challenge I have is, I have to get over, and I'm still working through, is sales feeling icky. You know what I mean? Because it's the creative versus,
but it's not
and I know
sales, it's saving people.
I know, and that's what that same mentor that was like, she said the same. Don't look at it like that. You're providing a service, so I'm working through that.
Yes, yes.
And then the other challenge I have is, and again, I know it probably has to do more with my consistency and accountability, is that people will engage and say, "Oh, I'm gonna be there," and then they don't show up, and then it ends up being the same. No, like they just say they're gonna come, and then I'm banking on them coming, and then they don't come.
Yeah.
And it's it's $20, but it's just more for me. It's more I just want to hit like this number, and and that's how it ends up being the same.
Yeah. The reason they need to sign up right now is because you don't trust them to do what they say they're going to do for themselves. So people says, yo, I'm gonna sign up. Don't believe them. Hey, just do it right now. You need to make a commitment right now. This is for you, not me. This $20 will do more for you than it will for me.
That's
because you
the
need
muscle
to
I have to
save
get.
them.
Yeah, that's the muscle I have to get. It's I can be pushy at home, but translating it.
But I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay. 1, we set the target.
Yes.
2, even in our morning meetup group, we have a thing where we have to ask 2 people every single day to ask to buy from us.
Okay, so the accountability.
So it's about numbers.
Yeah.
If you ask 2 people, possibly none of them will sign up.
Right.
But I think if you ask 20,
you'll get 1, 2, maybe. Mm-hmm. If you ask 2 people a day, 30 days out of the month, 60 days, like 60 asks of people, we could probably get 6, 7 maybe. Yeah.
1 brings a friend. We could double our numbers. So we're gonna set the goal, but also we're gonna set a goal of asks. Now, I know what you're dealing with because you're not that natural salesperson. You don't want to come off salesy. But it's not about making the sale. I don't care whether they buy or not.
Right.
It's just your objective to ask.
Right.
And you can walk up to people, hey, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm a yoga instructor. I don't know if you ever have joint pains, or you can see by the way they're walking or acting or whatever.
Right.
I don't know if you have joint pains, but I have this coach, and my coach is actually he told me I have to try to save 2 people's lives every day. And the way I save people's lives is through yoga, all the benefits. It's a $20 class. You should sign up.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I don't care about their answer.
Okay.
Once you say it, you've completed your work.
Yeah.
You're done for the day.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But if we ask enough people, you'll make some sales.
Yeah.
Now let's real quick get to these offerings. You're never going to make any money with $20 a class.
I don't know. That's just me trying to stay in the mix. But yes, I know.
What I would do is maybe offer $50 a month program.
Okay.
So instead of the classes, it's a monthly program that you're already committed to.
Yes.
Because I'll give you $20, that doesn't mean I'm coming to the next class.
Right.
But I would come to the next class if I'm in this program.
And I'm invested, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would run that model. And how many classes you do a month?
I'm not as consistent right now, but I do try to do at least like 6 a month, like 2 classes a week, we'll say. So 8 a month, I guess.
2 a week?
Yeah.
And those same 10 people go to all 8 classes?
No, some 5 and some 5 and another, sometimes all 10, sometimes
because they don't
2.
even know when it's going to be.
Yeah, that's on me. I will say that's on me.
So there needs to be a place that's open.
Yes.
Meaning your store is open. This particular day, we are going to do a session. I don't care if nobody shows up. You need to be there. That's how you build a business.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll have, okay, guys, the average of you are paying $20 per session, and you come to an average of, 4 of them every single month. That's $80. I'm going to save you some money. We're going to put you on auto. We're doing every single Tuesday at this time. It's $50 a month. You get 4 classes. You get a discount. Invite your friends.
Okay. I can do that.
So that model will work out a little better. And the one-on-ones for $100, I wouldn't really do those.
Okay. I have them on, well, let me let you finish. Why not?
Because I'd rather somebody pay $50 to be in this group where I'm going to be here doing the session anyway.
Then a what-off.
Then I have to carve another day out of my time. Yeah. Because that's valuable Instagram scrolling time for me.
No.
Right? I don't want to come up with another day where I have to do it again.
Yeah. I do have it with my calendar. I have it just for people that might be because I have had private virtual clients. So I just want to make sure I have the offer in there for somebody that's like, I'm not comfortable doing this in front of people. I want to have my own one-on-one thing, and just to make sure I have.
Turn the camera off. It's virtual.
I know, but it is a different experience one-on-one, because one-on-one, it's like you said, if somebody has, when it's a public class, is what I'm teaching. When it's private, it's like I have sciatica and I really need some targeted support with this, and I can focus on your personal need.
What's the problem you're helping with one-on-one?
What's the problem with?
Yeah, what's the problem that, like, when someone signs up for the one-on-one, what is the problem that you're solving?
That they're getting a more personalized treatment where again, just use sciatica for example. No. Okay.
What is the problem that you're solving for them?
Helping them with physical pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Personalized treatment.
People that have physical pain.
Yeah. And
you're
your
helping
personalized
them
treatment plan.
Get over the physical pain.
Yeah.
How much should you charge to solve that problem for someone?
Probably more than $111.
For sure. And I don't even think that you can solve the problem in a session.
No, it's got to be a couple of sessions for sure.
So we can't charge $111.
Right.
We need to charge an amount to solve the problem.
Right. Right. Yes.
If somebody doesn't want to go to the doctor and, they're feeling these pains and they want to give them these shots and stuff like that, well, I can solve that problem. That the solution for that problem might be $2,000.
Right.
Or let's say $1,000. But this $1,000 is going to give you, a 5-week program. You're paying me $1,000 not for a one-on-one session, not for personalized care. You're paying this $1,000 to solve this problem.
Your problem. Okay.
For you to walk straight.
Yeah. And doctors and physical therapists will recommend yoga in addition to whatever medical treatment. So
yes.
Yeah.
Because I know $100 doesn't solve my problem.
No.
However, your program does.
Right.
I don't really have any more coaching for you. I think you have to go implement the stuff that we're talking about. One, showing the fact that you care about people. Two, setting a target for how many people you want to bring. Three, restructuring this program. And four, having a higher ticket for the people that you want to solve a problem for.
Do I get to ask a question and make a statement?
Go for it.
So my statement is, it's a little bit of a twofold. The challenge has been that I never wanted a yoga studio. So a lot of yoga teachers, when they go independent, the first thing they're asked or told, do a studio. I know I don't want that. I want to be free to do what I do. But it's been challenging for me to I feel like I'm creating something out of thin air. And that's where a lot of the struggle has been for me. So I'm just putting that out there for whatever.
What's the struggle? I don't understand.
Just, it's hard. I feel like it's hard having something tangible. You know what I mean? Like where it's like a studio, it's like you go in and every day this is what I'm doing and I got to have trainings or this, that. I feel like creating a virtual business has been challenging for me because I feel like it's not something I could wrap my hands around. So a little bit, I feel like that's what's contributing to my lack of fill in the blank. Find
somebody who has a yoga studio and partner. Say, I just want this day every single week. I give you a percentage of those sales or something like that. Partner with somebody that has a studio already.
I mean, I'm trying to do that where I live because we live far from Atlanta, right? So we live in Dallas, which there's not a lot out there, which I'm like, okay, I've been here before. There's a potential for me to grow it. There's a community center in the area. I have reached out about offering classes there. I'm waiting for them to get back to me. I put my information in the local magazine, to contact me for, health and wellness services or yoga and wellness services.
It's going to be a little more aggressive with the community center.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. But so I just wanted to put that out there. It's just trying to figure that out. I'm the type of person like motherhood, I can be consistent all day long. It's the thing that I do. You know what I mean? Yeah. But trying to create this business without having a brick and mortar sometimes or just something like that, it feels challenging for me. So I'm just putting that out there just to put that out there. Yeah. And then my question is, the challenge has been that I love teaching yoga and I will teach it, I know, until there's no more breath in my body because I really believe in this work. But I have always felt like it's not the thing. You know what I mean? I've always felt like there's something else, and yoga was the foundation to get me started. In my world, if I could and I'm just saying this, if I could write a book or do something that brought bigger income, I would teach the yoga for free because yoga is absolutely the thing I would do for free. If, you know what I mean? They say what's your passion? The thing you could do for free, and I would do that for free. And so I also struggle with, I think sometimes my lack of accountability is just not being clear on what's the end goal for me. And that's kind of, honestly, that's what I came in here looking for. I don't have an end goal. I just know the things I want to do. Yeah. I know the way I want my life to look. I know the money I want to have. But for me, it's kind of but what am I resting this on? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's question statement.
Yeah, so think about this business and, over the next 5 years, what that looks like. So you said, I want to be a speaker, I want to be a teacher, I want to do yoga.
Absolutely.
And side note, you think that doing yoga for free helps people, and it doesn't. When someone parts with their money, they're more tied to the commitment.
Yes. So
you got to charge something. I'm not saying you got to charge $1,000 a session, but the goal isn't to be able to teach it for free. The goal is to help people in any way possible.
Right.
How can we help people?
Right.
I'd rather you write a book, give it away for free, and you start gathering the leads so that you can sell them on the yoga sessions. Yeah. So there's a bunch of different strategies. Yeah. But I think because I don't want to overwhelm you with information because you're not new to entrepreneurship, but you're new to actually like building it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I just want you to go be more passionate, ask more people, restructure the program, have some sort of target of activity every single day, and join the morning meetup.
I will do that.
Are you going to join the morning meetup?
I will join the morning meetup.
Is she going to join the morning meetup? Let's make it happen.
So you said you're having another podcast event.
Yeah. We're trying to lock in dates now. Tickets should be on sale first of the month, but we're still locking in a venue.
If you just want to have a yoga or breathing session, you can holler.
Yoga or breathing session? Okay.
Not breathing, but yoga or meditation or like a wellness, if people just need a mindful minute.
Or nothing though, right?
No, absolutely not. Okay. That's my thing.
Okay, all right, cool. Just making sure.
Don't let this become about the statue. Right? It's not Rachel the statue teacher, right? No, you see, it's...
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it, okay?
Yeah. No, I'm just, because I'm being accountable.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm being accountable.
You did great.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thank you.